Hey guys, this is Brian from thetruthaboutwatches.com, here with you today with a review of the Orsa military watch. This is Orsa's interpretation of the Vietnamese watch that was issued to some of our troops. Just a really cool iteration. Truth be told, there's not a whole lot to say about these. They're kind of watches where once you've seen one, you've seen them all. So I'm going to take the time in this review to demonstrate a couple other things. The first of which is going to be how to hook up a Nato strap, or how to run a Nato strap through a watch lug. So we'll do that first. This watch comes with a Nato strap, but before we do that, I'll just show you the case back here. Oops, upside down. It's got a pretty cool case back. It is inscribed and signed. It's got a Swiss movement. I believe I read somewhere it's an ISA stainless steel case back. Let me check the water resist here. It says 5 atmospheres, so you could probably take it swimming and you'd be safe. As you can see, it's a fairly thin watch. It's also not super large. I say it's probably about 39, maybe 40 millimeters, so you know it's going to be fairly small for most people. It was a little bit small on my wrist, but it's not silly looking by any means. As you can see there, the movement's pretty accurate. It does miss a few of the ticks, but it's nothing to be super concerned about. So let's go over the Nato strap here real quick. Here's your most common Nato strap, and you see there's two parts. Alright, so the first thing you do is hold up the 12 and put the top of the strap. Let me show you this real quick. Here's the hardware, and here's the part of the strap I'm talking about. You put the first strap through the 12 set of lugs, and you pull it all the way through, which then leaves you with something that looks like this. You have the buckle in your right hand, and the long end and the short end. Take this long end, put it up through the bar at the 6, and pull tight, and then run it through these rings on the short end, and pull tight. And there you go. And you can adjust the position of the watch on your wrist by moving it. Let's see if I can show you this. The further you move it up here, it's obviously going to be towards the top of your wrist. The further you slide it down in the band towards this buckle, the further it's going to be towards the thumb side of your wrist. So it's just a quick demonstration there. A couple things to note about this watch. The lume is really cool. I'll show you in just a second. The quickset date actually spins oppositely from most watches. So if you try to set the quickset like you would most other watches, it's going to just bounce on you and it's not going to change. So if you get one of these and you run into that, it's not broken, just turn the crown the other way. It is a pull-out crown that doesn't screw down or anything. And I should have showed you while I had it out. It is a screw-down case back, if you can still see that there. Overall, I'd say the quality is really well built. Excuse me. Orsa did a good job on this. I think this is one of their cooler watches. Just a little bit too small for me. Like I said, it did come on this black Nato. It's a little bit short as far as most Natos are concerned. I only have about a couple millimeters of hangover once it's buckled, and usually I can end up folding over a good inch or two on most Nato straps. But regardless of that, it's a great watch. It's been perfect for me. It does lose about 1 second a month, but I'm just so not concerned with that level of accuracy. It's totally fine for me. So with that said, let me hit the lume here for you. It does light up pretty brightly, actually. It doesn't stay that way for too terribly long. I'd say you might get a couple of hours. If you leave it in the sun for about 30 minutes, you might get 2 hours of legibility in the dark. But it is extremely bright for the time period with which it actually stays lit. Just another cool thing. Orsa's lume on the Monstrums, it leaves a little bit to be desired, but they seem to have done a pretty good job here. So let me kill the lights. And you can see there, looks like I actually missed part of the watch, so we'll try that again. But as you can see, the hands are super bright there, and I put a couple pictures up in the written review, and you can see how bright it is, even with the lights on. There we go. So if I get it focused in there, you can see the second hand ticking. It's pretty cool. Actually, the lume is very good on this watch. It just doesn't stay lit for nearly as long as you would think like a Seiko or a Citizen would, but aside from that, it's pretty good. So I guess that's about it for the Orsa military. I'd say if you get a chance to pick one up and you're a fan of dress watches or smaller dial sizes, you definitely can't go wrong here. It's a great watch, and it's got some pretty neat design cues. I think I've become a pretty big fan of these military watches, and this was about the third or fourth one that I bought. So for me, I'll be sticking to ones in the 40 to 44 millimeter range, but these are pretty cool. So that's it for today, and I will see you guys next time.